มาแล้วค่ะคุณผู้ชมค่ะช่วงเวลาที่ทุกท่านรอคอยมากที่สุดนั่นก็คือคู่ของแกรนด์ไฟนอลค่ะและจะเป็นการแข่งขันกันเรียกได้ว่าเดจาวูหรือเปล่านะทีมไทยพบกับทีมไทยนั่นก็คือบุรีรัมย์ยูไนเต็ดอีสปอร์ตเจอกับทีมฟอลคอนค่ะ
Finally, at the end, we have come to our grand finals. At this moment, everything got defeated and only two left, all trying their best to get this beautiful trophy and as well the championship for our Ninja Clash tonight. And those teams are all Thailand. Buriram United Esports versus Team Falcons.
ซึ่งตอนนี้พี่กีต้องบอกเลยว่าพี่กีเองก็รู้สึกแบบเดียวกับคุณผู้ชมที่ดูอยู่ทั้งออฟไลน์และออนไลน์แน่นอนนั่นก็คือรู้สึกตื่นเต้นมากๆเราเลือกเชียร์ไม่ถูกกันเลยทีเดียวแต่ว่าตอนนี้ค่ะได้เวลาไปพบกับพวกเขากันแล้วนะคะและทีมแรกของเราบุรีรัมย์ยูไนเต็ดอีสปอร์ต
And I do believe that even if you are in an offline event with us or on online watching us through the live stream, I believe that you guys feel really happy and excited to see our team playing the last match to see who is the champion. Let's welcome first Buriram United Esports!
สมก็เป็นไทยสไตล์เหลือเกินค่ะและแน่นอนค่ะได้เวลาไปพบกับคู่แข่งของเขากันแล้วกับทีม Falcon
Welcome next to the stage their opponents Team Falcons I don't know here
และแน่นอนค่ะตอนนี้นักกีฬาของเราทั้ง2ทีมนะคะมาอยู่ตรงหน้านี้แล้วก่อนที่จะเข้าสู่การแข่งขันสนุกสุดมันเรามาเช็คแฮนด์กันก่อนเข้าโพสิชันกันหน่อยดีกว่าเอาเลยจ้ามา
Alright our two teams is here come and shake your hands and get prepared for your first match
แหวฉันแอบได้ยินนะคุณแอบตกลงอะไรกันระหว่างเดินจับมือน่ะเนี่ยอะไรนะอะไร20202020อะไรหรือเปล่าบอกเลยค่ะว่าไหนๆก็เป็นคู่แกรนด์ไฟนอลแล้วพี่กิอยากได้แบบเต็ม3เกมได้ไหมแล้วเต็มแบบ11จะเราอยู่กันถึงแบบตี 1ไหวไหมคะโอ้ได้ค่ะโอ้โหไม่สู้เลยยายดิวเอ้ยเพราะฉะนั้นตอนนี้ค่ะไม่ต้องรอช้าไปดูเกมสนุกสุดมันกันเลย
Alright then, since this is our last game, only Buriram United Esports or Falcons can make it to the last stage, which is the champion for our Ninja Clash Free Fire All-Star Tournament. Who is your favorite, everyone? Please cheer for them! Alright then, and now let's head back to our caster and start the first game.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this is it. This is what everyone has been waiting for even from yesterday. The Free Fire All-Stars Ninja Clash 2025 Pro CS Clash between two titans in Thailand. Buriram United and Team Falcons, the Jonin of Clash Squad in Free Fire.
Yeah, this is something that I feel like a lot of teams, a lot of fans out there have been expecting from the start. We kind of saw a preview of that. We kind of knew that this was going to happen, but we wanted to believe that there would be a new contender. Alas, that was not the case. Falcons and BRU stormed their way through the bracket in their own manner. And in fact, Falcons had to make BRU work a bit harder to get to this grand finals, but here they are. The destination still has been reached Now Falcons wants to see if they can take down BRU for the second time in an actual grand finals bout. Best of 5 coming up.
Yeah, longer route might not be easy for Brem United. We've seen some struggles overall compared to what we've seen Team Falcons did in those winning rounds. But again, it has come down to this, and I don't think Brem United will take another loss in this rematch for the Ninja Clash 2025 for Free Fire. So we are just setting up for the next battle to begin. I'm pretty sure fans out there, especially in the comment section, is already cheering on both teams. Some Team Falcons, some Brave United, even for those in the crowd on the venue in Central World Thailand, they are cheering for both teams because they are on home ground. But yeah, this is where the pressure lies. There's a lot of expectation for Brave United to go against Team Falcons, but you did mention that for the first time that they went against each other, it's Team Falcons who grabbed the win. That was a best of 3. If Brave United can take another point, and we're talking about, I think, the same map. If not, there might be a few more maps added right here, but if we will use that as reference, there's a lot of changes that will be done by Brave United just to make sure that they don't go down that easily.
Yeah. And I think another added factor to that is also when they played that series yesterday, it was pretty late into the night, so there's no factor of having an actual crowd cheering, right? The people watching online, sure, but the live crowd, they weren't present at that moment. I think everyone had to leave the mall. But today, it's very different. We get the grand final setting, crowds are in the people are in the crowds, you know, pretty much it's a full house. The activities are still going on, and not only that, again, we've seen the KOLs, we've seen the talents from overseas there. Prita Camiliota is there cooking up a storm, even though Lost or Fluxo are no longer in the tournament. But at the end of the day, we're all here for the love of the game, and what better way to kind of celebrate it than have an audience witness you lift the trophy.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the audience right now are on fire, on their toes as well, looking forward to who's going to pop off this time around, who's going to grab that scroll, that title in this game, in this show match. And yes, this is a show match, but it involves a huge prize pool as well, and this is what we love from Free Fire because they've already put so much of effort into the details of the stage, of those booths, even broadcast overall. But there we have it. We have our map pool right now, and it starts off with Purgatory. So we have Purgatory, Nexterra, Kalahari, Bermuda, and Solara. So 2 maps that has not been included that might be the game changer for the scene.
And that's what the best of 5. That's why the best of 5 series is so interesting, because we get introduced to 2 extra maps that we throughout the entire course of the tournament that we have not seen before. So we have no idea how these teams are going to perform on them. And if we ever get to a game 5, we head into Solara too, which is something that we kind of teased about yesterday. If ever they just add Solara into the pool and we get to see Solara, well, we have to go the full stretch to get there.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, what a way to end it in Solara. But as you can see right now, Team Falcons want to take away Ignis from the pick, and let's see what will be the response of Team Brem United right now. Oscar will be taken out, so it's not as if they've used Oscar to perfection, but they just don't want to deal with an Oscar right now. It's tough to go for the battle, trying to defend yourself with a glue wall, with someone just waiting to pull the trigger to break them down and knock you back.
Yeah. So we get the Chrono first pick for BRU. We can expect a Tatsuya to be the case. Usually teams might want to consider taking that away from the Cassie, but I think BRU has come up with a different approach to that, right? We've seen a lot of success that they got with the Zane, and sure, you have a Tatsuya rushing at you, but the durability is going to give you a fighting chance to survive that first pop regardless. Santino over to limit, that one pretty much expected. That means that the Tatsuya also gets given over to Falcons.
Yeah, there you have it. I mean, Tatsuya and Cassie combination, pretty much like the front runner in this game, but it will be a response of a Coda right now for Brem United. So I guess Corona will be for Wasana, Sane will be for Get High, and Clue for Moshi, and Jonah with that Coda. And the response to the other side for the final pick would be an Alok that we rarely see in these tournament of Clash Squad.
So the clue goes over to BRU. They take that away, and there we go. Alok, first time ever. I believe yesterday we did have this conversation in the viability of DJ Alok, but how much that he can fit into the Clash Squad mode, and we have slightly differing opinions on that. Let's see, Falcons, if they make it work, it is going to be quite an eye-opener. Curveballs can sometimes be the difference maker in a long series. Maybe for Team Falcons, they've been saving this for this exact moment.
Yeah, I mean, it's time to farm that aura for Alok, because the moment he dropped that beat, he creates a 5-meter aura that increases movement speed by 15%, and it restores 5 HP as well per second. So there is something that we rarely see, but it's also viable right now. On Fire will be the ones who is going to use that, and well, Kiroro right now would be the rusher. So fortunately, we will be seeing them in contention to the trio of Get High, Wasana, as well as Jonah. And you know how it is with snipers like Limit and Moshi. They will try to keep their distance, but there lies the problem though. There's a huge possibility that an isolation can be done, especially for the side of Team Falcons. The moment that you can spot Moshi onto the other side, you can just rush through on them, and then connected with that Cassie, you can go on a run to take him down.
I wonder what the mindset of BRU is coming into this grand finals. Obviously, both teams are off quite a high momentum. I would argue that Team Falcons probably feel a lot more better with how they got to this point, and there's lesser weight on them, knowing that they have overcame BRU before yesterday, and they have that clutch factor that really enabled that comeback. We saw how that sort of broke BRU a little bit in the latter half of the series. And this Alok could be that big difference maker. You have huge utility that can now facilitate any sort of aggression on top of that Cassie. And all eyes will be on Kororo. And if he can pull off what he's been doing the entire tournament and pose himself as that main threat, then I think BRU will have to be double ready to face off against Falcons, especially in this opening game that could dictate the course of the rest of the best of 5.
The thing is, it's a bold move. If he will still use that, like the Kororo factor with a Deagle in this game against Buriram United. But yeah, I mean, they've shown that it's working. They've shown that he can be a target, and he can target the opponent as well with a pistol in hand. But I think he will be putting in so much more in this game, unless they don't find Buriram United as a huge threat in this battle.
Yeah, I highly doubt that. I mean, well, knowing Falcons, I know they like to have a lot of fun, but you know, the disrespect actually, ironically, when they disrespect someone, it stems from the respect that they give to the opponent, right? It's like those, you finally get that sweet leverage over a nemesis, and then you kind of spam emote them a little bit. I know we see that a lot in the Malaysian local league back then, when there was still the English broadcast, where people would plant their flags over their fallen enemies. But outside of the game, is all, you know, all respect. Again, D-Long, one of the legacy players. I mean, this old guard, some people wonder when he is going to step away, but I dare say not anytime soon. This BRU still have a legacy that they want to keep on building.
Exactly. I mean, there's a lot more that Buriram United has to do, and it's the promise of taking home the trophy back to Southeast Asia. But they failed in so many instances, and I don't think that journey is ending. So let's see. This might be a preview of how dominant Buriram United can be if needed to, and closing it with a champion, especially in Clash Squad against the CS champion of Southeast Asia. So this would be a statement that they can finish a game, probably in longer route, because even from some tournaments that we have in Battle Royale, they're not dominating game in the early on. They want to have I would say they don't want to show up that strong so that they will be underestimated by the opponents.
I think it's one of the few matchups that no matter how many times you replay it in any timeline, ever since their first encounter back in 2024, it always feels like there's going to be a different version of it, right? It never felt like it's going to be one-sided. Even though it can look that way, but you can never be sure who is going to come out on top. Because at the end of the day, they are fighting for that Ninja Scroll as the grand prize. Unlock maybe the secrets to win the rest of the season. It's also pretty fancy to put on that shelf in your headquarters. We head into the Shuriken round. Falcons against BRU.
Now, let's see though how they are going to play this. Everyone's sticking together, and Moshi right now taking the lead. Now, this is something else. We don't see Moshi going in there up front, but we can see the Sentinel already being pulled out, and the Time Turner as well to save a little bit. And the goal is to get to that airdrop. On fire, already down. Potato already down as well, but Swans is to bring down Get High and Wasana, but Buriram United manage to go for that triple for Jonah, and they grab that Shuriken round.
Yeah. And you see a hint of smile on Jonah's face as he looks at the rest of his team. It's like, hey, we're already off to a good start.
Yeah,
all
definitely
with the
a good start.
Yeah, High picking off on fire, and this is just straight up a bloodbath. Everyone from BRU, they managed to trade bodies. Obviously, they ended up getting the numbers advantage, and that's how they came out on top.
Now let's see though how Team Falcons will be responding to this. A little bit split up is being done right now. Brim United, Get High will be left in here with Jonah. So I love the split that's being done by Brim United right now. It's a mirror from what we're seeing. So it's great minds think alike, I would say, but with the firepower the Brim United has, it would be difficult for Team Falcons to fight back that easily. Double deagle on them, and that's what they need. A combination of both, but a pickup has been quickly done, and one skill can bring them down, and it's just one grenade. Moshi right now on a roll with that double, and only Wasana has been knocked down but not confirmed, so they still keep their loot.
And that is already a very, very different story compared to the tale that we saw yesterday. And the expectations too, we said Moshi, he can be the clutch factor. Jonah now unlocks himself from the shackles, and he now steps up to the occasion. We also saw some of the usage of frag grenades earlier on by R7 and Loss. We saw Moshi use that earlier on. It's an investment that takes a lot of trust and and planning, but when it works out, the payoff is incredibly big. On fire did not stand a chance with Jonah just providing suppressing fire. The fireball juicy lays out as well. Jonah lays out on fire on the ground, and BRU again gains the man advantage.
Wasana right now using an AWM up close and personal. Not quite sure what the ideation is. If he can pull this off, that is something else. But he goes down though. But Potato goes in for the finisher. 2v3 situation, and Kororo will still wear that eagle. And Potato managed to pick up a P90, but it's a little bit too late. The fireball jutsu will bring him down. And Kororo on a solo mission. Solo pistol mission might not work this time around.
Lovely stuff from the side of BRU. Kororo only get a knock on the Get High, but most of the weapons will go into the next round regardless for Buriram United. Already at the halfway point of this Purgatory map. And once more, it's BRU finding very good positions. Right? We said that Falcons wanted to play fast, and we were thinking how BRU is going to stop it. First of all, the DJ Alok isn't really working out the way that Falcons wanted it to. Not able to extend the fight long enough because most of the shots that came through from BRU results in a knockdown. And second of all, it's just the suppressive fire from Jonah and Get High and makes it incredibly tough for Falcons to just run straight at Buriram United.
It is expected right now, especially with Get High getting used to using Zane, and then that time turner being pulled out. It was Sana in the perfect timing. But Sana right now getting a little bit too close and on fire, heading for the airdrop, and Wasana will be pushed out, but doesn't go down that quickly, and Get High will try to protect him. On fire will be taken out with a P90, and Wasana almost losing out on HP, but this is the battle that we are looking for. Limit X7 will be left alone. Get High will need to go for the pickup, otherwise it will be a win for Team Falcons.
A huge shot from Limit. Not able to confirm it quick enough. He was too scared for a swing, and now Limit's in the fight Get High. Wasana at the same time, and that is undoing a triple. Going over to Get High that you just highlighted, getting used to the Zane. Not just that, puts himself in the front line. We look at the KD itself, 5 eliminations apiece for Jonah, Get High, and Moshi. Wasana not needing to do too much this game. He has already done the heavy lifting prior to this against Loss.
Exactly. I mean, Wasana doesn't have that much damage with a mini Uzi, but he's still annoying, I would say. If he can get in and out and then just pull out that time turner to save his hide. But again, 4-0. We seldom see this as a scoreline against Team Falcons, but again, it's Purgatory United who has been preparing for this moment. They might have gone a longer route, but they know exactly what needs to be done. Limit X7 will be taken down by Wasana with a Max 7, and it is now a 3v4 situation. Fireball Jutsu once again being thrown at all corners of two compounds, and Get High with backstab, and On Fire gets the finisher on Get High.
But sadly for On Fire, BRU sets the building on fire, literally. Just barbecues him. Kuroro gets chased down and ran off the game. 5-0 for BRU already. It felt like the grand final just started, and BRU are about to close out the first game in a flawless manner.
All right, and this is just something else. Again, we seldom see this. Not quite sure on what Team Falcons is attempting right now, but Purgatory United seems a little bit stronger, a little bit faster compared to what we see, how they see them from yesterday up until today. But again, they met up each other. It could have been late. Purgatory United doesn't have a chance to go in for that marathon. But this time around, they're still fresh, they're still warmed up, especially with the battle that they had earlier. And they're putting up so much of a great fight. Wasana looting up the airdrop, getting that M1887 as well as the Trogon. Now, let's see if he can still use that Trogon going back 1 year when that gun is in meta.
Could be a tough run it back. They need 5 rounds in a row. 5 rounds in a row to tie it up. 6 rounds in a row to win it all. That's going to break BRU. You got to start somewhere. Starts with this 1 round. Max 7 in hand. We see the revolver on Kuroro's side. His trusty little Deagle. Not a revolver. Either way, AWM, Limit X7. This is the 1 round so far that they have slowed it down. For BRU, they can play this waiting game forever. The onus is on Falcons to find an opening. The longer this game drags on, the more scared Falcons might feel, because they are the ones on the clock.
See, though, the clock will run down on them. We've seen this before. And the moment that a hint of a rush will be done from either side, that's where retaliation will be happening. And there we have it. That fireball jutsu will trigger it on fire. Stop from getting that shot on, and Potato will be taken down first. Moshi almost. Wasana going in and out, but exploding together with On Fire was Jonah. Now, Get High, the only one remaining at this point, still with a Zane, is a viable player to go into the battle, and he goes in, steamrolling them. And Kuroro, the only one remaining. AWM against Mag 7, or probably an M1887. Not a good way to go. And there you have it. Purgatory United grabs another point, and the first game in this series.
Not even close. Last round's probably the closest, and even that one looked like a wash. Falcons not finding their footing at all this game. BRU shut down every single plan in the playbook of Team Falcons. I'm not really sure if the DJ All Out is going to ever get picked up in subsequent games. Sure as heck didn't provide the impact that it needed because the fight never really lasted that long. They needed On Fire to stay with the rest of the team, but most of the time, if that was the case, On Fire gets wiped out alongside them. They need to be a bit more independent overall. So I think we can scrap the DJ All Out. It's a good experiment for Team Falcons. Trying to go back to what they're comfortable with and what they used to take down BRU yesterday.
Well, it's still a long run. We are looking at a best of 5 series, and that DJ Alok might have been, I don't know, just to throw off whatever tactics is being planned. But I do agree with you. Doesn't work that well to the game style of Team Falcons, as well as to counter whatever Brim United is putting up. So I'm pretty sure they're going in for a different pick, probably comfort pick, just to make sure that they have enough firepower, defense, as well as attack in the active skill department. But in terms of skills, position, and like the speed run that is being done by Brim United, they are still on the roll.
Yeah, there it is. Falcons, BRU, this game 1. If you cover the team tags, I wouldn't have expected it was Falcons against BRU. We are 6-0 on Purgatory, and this is the first time we see Purgatory in the entire tournament. First and last time, and BRU have already dominated Falcons. You can chalk it up to maybe Falcons are not used to playing on Purgatory for Clash Squad as often as BRU, so maybe it's one-sided. But at least for the next map, we are going into familiar territory again. Maybe that's where Falcons will find their footing.
Yeah, let's see though. Let's see. I mean, it's tough to go in and fight that you haven't played like in so many matches that they played in 2 days. But Nexterra, yeah, familiar territory overall. This is where Limnic 7 can rise, especially if they go into Deca Square. But it's a different story with if they are on Grab Labs, especially Museum as well. But as we take a look, it's a 6-0 run. A result that Team Falcons fans are not expecting at this point, but we're still early in the game.
Yeah, not at all. Night is still young. It would be quite unfortunate if we have the grand finals end in a 3-0. That's probably not what we want, obviously. For BRU fans, they would like to have a dominating end to this, but it's quite a while since BRU last won anything that is significant. Even though we call this a show match, even though it's just a collaboration with with Naruto, there's still prize pool at stake. There's still a trophy that is unique in of its own. It's one of a kind. Whoever wins this gets to keep it forever, and no one else would have access to a secondary version, for the entire lifespan of the game. I would like to believe. So BRU still are fighting for some sort of unique achievement.
Yeah, I mean, definitely unique achievement. Especially in, like, just put it in the faces of everyone that lost against Team Falcons. I would say it's not just against Team Falcons, but even those who lost against Team Falcons. But Get High, apart from Moshi being the MVP, but Get High is the guy who made it work with a lot of elimination. That Zane was insane in his hands, and I thought it's already tough when Wasana is using it, but no. I mean, it's just Zane right now who's being a support to the rusher, and the rusher right now can hold the support as well with that time turner, which is Wasana. So
yeah,
let's see if they can keep that Zane, because knowing how aggressive, how tough it is to beat in Battlefield, I think Team Falcons are aiming to ban that or take it to their side.
I can agree with that. I think it's due time that they take a chance in banning out the Zane. The extra durability, extra damage to the extra durability that he provides is can be a bit overwhelming. Able to withstand an extra, to kind of withstand, because in the heat of battle, for even just a fraction of a second could make all the difference. And Get High was a tank in the previous game. There has to be some deep conversations with the Falcons' nest, as the coach tries to get them back on track, flip through the pages and figure out how to deal with BRU, because again, game 1 you can forget about it. It's time to move on and treat this as a fresh new one.
Yeah, fresh new one. And let's see though how the ban is going. So Cassie will be taken out, well, Very United really wants to reduce the chances of Team Falcons in sustaining themselves in the fight. But that opens up for an Oscar, and Oscar will be banned by Team Falcon. So, well, Ignis is still open. Not quite sure if Very United is up to get that, but no, it is Zane who will be grabbing it. And judging from the position, this might be Wasana who's getting it this time around.
So the Ignis does go over to Team Falcons. It is a trade that I think is worthy to take Chrono 2. So Tatsuya now comes back into the conversation. Clue and Santino also there. Coda for BRU also would make a bit of sense, but I feel like they want to limit what limit can play. So taking away the Santino and Clue, yep, just feel like the best course of action right now.
Let's see though, what would be the response? A Coda as well as a Tatsuya may come into play. But no, we don't have an Iris will be brought in for the sniper. There you go. And then probably what pick can be done, can be used at this point? I think for Jonah, Tatsuya. Yeah, I mean, smart move from them. And not quite sure if there will be any switch up in terms of who's going to use this, because I'm expecting Zane. Well, we've seen Zane being grabbed by Get High, but Zane can also be used by Wasana, and every time he uses it, it seems like they are stronger. He doesn't have that rush factor, but he does have that durability, that extra shield point to help him go for the push. But no, Wasana is just going back to his ways as a rusher, and Get High still retains that same. Moshi and Santino, Jonah and the Clue, so information gameplay is still on them, making them a little bit more deadlier because of that rush factor. But for Team Falcons, they do have that Ignis to to prevent them from being seen. Corona right now, if it can be used how Wasana did it earlier, then they will be able to stay a little bit longer in the front lines, and then information gameplay from both Coda and Iris at this point.
Yeah. I mean, we are going to Nexterra. Last we saw how BRU navigated their series against Lost. It's really about misdirection, right? You did point out how the brilliance between the bait and switch, the smoke and mirrors, by using the Santino to get an extra member onto an unknown location. It's something the Falcons struggled with the previous game as well. They started losing track of where BRU members were at. And on Nexterra, where there are so many other factors and some of the architecture and the unique properties of certain locations like Deca Square, and misdirection could help BRU to get a leg up over Falcons again.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, especially if the ones taking the lead would be Wasana. So Jonah would, it's a good spot as well to use him as the ones flanking, in addition to what we've seen earlier. With the help of Moshi's shape splitter on that Santino. But Wasana can also take that rain together with Get High. So instead of just one going for the flank, a distraction of two players going close to their sniper, and then Jonah will still stay behind as a middleman, still giving that support for Moshi. So I think that will be one of the plans of Garena United right now. For Team Falcons, they can slow it down right now, just to prevent Wasana from going for a good rush.
Yeah. In the previous game, it wasn't Wasana that was stepping up. It was actually everyone else. Get High. They passed the torch of the clutch genes across the team. The Falcons now need to not only figure out who is the one that's literally, on a tear. They also need to shut down the game plan. Start with a 1-for-1 trade. Moshi and Potato both on the ground. Wasana having an exchange. Kuroto finds that knock, and that puts Falcons in 17th position. The side being pulled out by On Fire as well. Kuroto chases down Jonah, gives him a 1-2 punch. This should be Shuriken round for Falcons. And let's Get High once more. Pulls it out of the back. It's him and Kuroto. Get High. Lower in terms of health pool. Kuroto needs to win this, and by the skin of his teeth, wins it for Falcons.
And it seems like that the Zane didn't work for the final moment for Get High, but it is the shortened round, and we know that doesn't make that much of a difference. They can still pick up any Deagle and a mini Uzi because it costs the same, and as you can see on the cash that they have from above, it doesn't dent that much. But as you can see, because of the additional, it would still be viable that Team Falcons can put in so much of damage because they have helmets as well as armor together with the weapons that they grab for this round.
Already puts himself in a good position. If he finds a peak, he gets a sharp headshot that could easily turn this round in their favor. Moshi's entry points can get guarded. Kororo now sees Moshi. Might have caught a glimpse of Get High too. Flame Mirage out on fire with the dome, protects himself, and now Wasana caught in a rough spot. Kororo springs into the action. Takes him now. Fire though, does get dicked by Moshi from behind. Moshi left unguarded. And I thought Kororo relayed that information. Now that Santino is going to make things a bit more complicated. Moshi relocates instantly. Falcons have lost track of the sniper of BRU. Get High in a 1v1 takedown limit. Things starting to go south for Falcons. Potato needs to hit his shots with Moshi from behind. Another bait and switch. And Falcons collapsing.
Double kill.
And Moshi using that Santino to perfection. Just reposition and making sure that he is providing so much backup for his teammates. Has given him a 3 elimination already. 3 on those KDs already. And this is a replay of what happened. Get High is a distraction and Moshi jumps in. Potato goes down and then quick reposition coming from Moshi and ending it just like that. I mean, pistol rounds could have been taken by Kororo, but the rest of the team of Team Falcons is not putting up so much of a fight. But it's a good thing, though, that they put up a point in their scoreboard already. But how can they work on this time around? Kororo can go for backstab against Wasana, but Wasana managed to protect himself and get High with a slice and dice using that sight.
They are a mixed direction coming in from BRU, and before we can even finish our sentence, it seems like BRU has already made their point pretty clear. Leaving limit below on 5 HP. Game, this round pretty much done and dusted. BRU takes the lead back very convincingly. Now that economy starts to build up for BRU as they keep all of their guns, I believe. Versus Falcons, gonna start from scratch again.
Well, let's see though. But they do have some economy, probably losing out on armors as well as some utilities. But hopefully they can slow the pace down because so much more because of how quick it is on how Buridam is taking the rush. That's what's throwing off Team Falcon's position. They have a prime position in terms of split, in terms of position, in terms of how the sniper is set up, and the bait and switch can be pulled in by Team Falcons as well. But Buridam United seems like their tactics, their movement is a little bit stronger. So Fireball Jutsu to clear out one of the glue wall, but Potato has managed to cross over already. Liminix 7 taking an eye on one side as Potato on the higher ground. So prime position, airdrop even secured, and the question is, how will they respond? From the looks of how Buridam United is waiting, they will be waiting for the blue to close in, and then that's when they make that move.
Oh yeah. BRU will slow the game down like they did. I mean, contrary to the previous map, the impact not as significant. So we're not at the match point status yet. Get High makes his first move. It's the Ignis wall. Surely they'll try Get High. That's half his health bar gone. The Santino decoy gets sent out too. Can they distract Falcons enough? Moshi will join Get High. Wasana, the third one to make the move. The glue wall is being laid down very generously, just so that BRU gets to save passage. Moshi again relocates. Kororo does think Get High, but Wasana is in prime position to pick him back up, so not much is lost. In fact, he drops Fireball right in front of the blue wall to Team Falcons, and Wasana springs into action. On Fire would do exactly the same. They trade 1-for-1 so far. On Fire and Moshi both become victims.
Oh.
But as Jonah comes alive, Potato also gets taken down. The blue wall gets
First
put
blood.
up, and Moshi stands back up to get high back into action. And BRU stifles the assault.
Yeah, full man squad still for Buriram United as Kororo Limit tries to pull away. The distance though can give an opening for Moshi to take those shots, but a shift of the circle is throwing up their tactics, and there goes Limit going down. Now Kororo will be left, but once he peaks, he might be taken down with a BSK from Wasana. Get High will try to put in so much of pressure onto the other side as well, but Moshi would say goodbye. Now it's only a few seconds remaining, no opening for Wasana to rush in, but no, he still managed to cross over, 2 rushes in, and another point being grabbed by the Brew Blood team Buriram United.
Starting to ramp up too. That move from Falcons, I can understand the rationale behind Falcons taking that fight, and they almost made it work. If not for BRU again winning crucial gunfights with the tiniest of difference in margins. That has been the big difference maker on this map, where BRU by a hair's breadth wins out crucial trades, health bar differences. The most minuscule of numbers now matter a lot more than they usually do. I think this wall thrown out again. Glass panel reveals where BRU are at. Fireball just to force them out. Get High response with his own on fire. Takes matters into his own hand, and this time with the M1887 takes down Wasana to give him a good start. But Get High with a sight in his hand takes down on Fire, slices Potato as Limit takes out Jonah, but the damage has been done by BRU, and Get High is the one that takes initiative again.
Yeah, Get High is a game changer once again, and there goes the finishing move, the finisher from Buriram United Esports. And Get High, I think with the Sane plus the Scythe makes him a little bit more deadlier despite of Wasana going down. So not quite sure what can still be done by Team Falcons at this point. It seems like every move they make, they're always being put on a checkmate. So there's not so much of leeway being given for Team Falcons.
Very unfortunate predicament again for Team Falcons. Once more, by the slightest of margins, they make the best possible chess move in their position, but it feels like you're up against Stockfish all the time. In this case, it's BRU. That their AI prediction mindset. Somehow Moshi catches Potato with his back turn. This round is already off to a horrible start, and it now has ended for sure. Unless Falcons come up with a miracle, but so far we haven't seen that from Kororo or Limit.
Yeah, Kororo is a miracle maker from the previous match when they played, but Limit right now can go in for finisher, but it is Kororo who lands that hit. He needs to be picked up though, but Limit doesn't want to go in the open.
Double
Jonah
kill.
has been spotted because of the blue
Double
wall.
kill.
Now M590 in hand. Jonah brings it to match point.
It's pretty fair to say that BRU have snapped Falcons in half. This is surely one way to break a team. Oh my goodness. And it's the same story. The Falcons have no idea where Moshi is. This Santino needs to leave BRU. They're doing too
That's
much
one
work
thing,
with it.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of snipers has been using Santino, but not in this manner as Moshi is using it. How fast he is in triggering that reposition. Probably because he's just doing so, the rest of the team's doing so much more as well, that we are having some time to focus on Moshi's position. But Get High will be taken down. Wasana brings down On Fire for a trade,
blood.
but we still have no sights of Moshi. Finally, we will see Moshi right now, and there goes the shape splitter once again being let go. On Fire, a few seconds remaining. Potato could have go in for a pickup. Was Wasana is a little bit busy, and Kororo will be taken down.
This is it's very fair to say that BRU are going to be up 2-0 in this grand finals at this point. Potato on the rescue mission. Wasana barely catches it, and Moshi snipes him out of the air.
Double kill.
No chance of recovery at all. BRU up 2-0 now. This grand finals is going down a trajectory of the boys in blue.
Definitely, I mean, it looks like it. Green is slowly fading away. And Garena United right now looks like they are a lot stronger. And this is what we're asking for Garena United. I mean, like, doesn't have to be starting strong in any tournament as long as they could finish it in this manner. But yeah, I mean, we still have some questions on what else Team Falcons can bring into the mix to go against Garena United, because get high on that Zane. Santino gameplay coming from Moshi is already putting in some records.
I feel like they need to pick the poison, right? It's not like Falcons didn't get the picks that they want. I'm pretty sure Falcons also got the optimal picks, but
Yeah.
I think it's time to initiate a trade. Right? You can't let BRU have Santino and Zane and Clue in the same lineup. Something has to be changed.
Alright.
Ban the Zane. I go back to what you were proposing earlier on, right? I think the Zane might have to go. It's either that, or if they're on first pick, they take the Zane for themselves. Because for 2 games in a row, Zane and Santino has been a nightmare for Falcons to handle.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if On Fire can use that Zane, it's more favorable compared to Chrono. So I don't think Hiroro will be letting go of Dakota. They've grown to confident confident and stable with that. They don't have that from the previous round, from the first match, because Jonah managed to grab it. So they want to keep them from themselves. They want to get information. But Iris, Limitex 7, if he can use Santino at this point, just steal all those picks from Garena United, and I think they have a better chance in fighting back.
Absolutely. But so far, it seems like there hasn't been any fight yet found in Falcons. Limit 0 and 6. The only one that really sort of stepped up and showed some fight within him, showed the dog within him, is Karoro, right? 6 eliminations and 6 deaths. But in the grand scheme of things, it pales in comparison and what the damage that BRU has dealt. Moshi 9 and 2. Get High and Jonah 6 piece each. Wasana once more not needing to do too much because the rest of his team are on form.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he just serves as a distraction just to make sure there's an opening for Moshi to put in all those damage as well as elimination. But at this point, it would be Moshi that is our MVP. It's not just the gameplay that is, it's not just the firepower that Moshi is displaying. How well he can use that Santino, even better than, I would say, Rasia. Because Rasia, there's still some questionable usage of Santino, but Moshi right now, specifically, even if there's a mistake on pulling it out, he quickly uses that and wait for it to refresh. And that is why the strength of Get High is crucial, because it gives them that opportunity to slow things down for the cooldown to happen in Moshi's side.
Match MVP, Moshi, 9 eliminations, 3.4k total damage. One of the OG snipers of the era, and still delivers when they need it the most. I mean, yesterday, Moshi has had some great performances, but we also seen him getting shut down. Today, he is the only one that dictates who gets shut down.
Yeah, I mean, I know Limitex 7 is stressed at this point because it couldn't find where Moshi is. But if you look at some of the snipers from, especially from Brazil, like Nando 9, there's a huge fight that he can bring in against Moshi. That's what he needs to study. How can they give an opening to Limitex 7 just to make sure that he can deal with Moshi first and then work with the rest of the team, isolating them in one corner while they push for Moshi. That's one of the plan that Team Falcons needs to do.
Yeah. Again, Team Falcons need to really start digging deep, right? They tried to rally and gain number 2. That did not work at all. We did see glimpses of better attempts, of closer results, but in the competition, the only thing that matters is the end result. And the end result is BRU wiping the 4 of them 6-1 on Nexterra. We are still going to go back into familiar territory for game number 3, but time is definitely running short for Team Falcons. They need to somehow figure out the draft, because that has been the bane of their grand finals run so far.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if they want to put this in a best of 5 or catch up to what Buriram United has to do, something really needs to change. But I don't think Buriram United will let it go that easily unless some of those parts would work against some of those parts that we mentioned would work against Buriram United. But you know how it is. This is the draft itself is more of chess moves after chess moves. If you can make that move to counter any of the pick that probably potentially takes away your strength, then just find something that they can counter. It might not be that unorthodox though, but we might be seeing a few more of the active skill usage that will pop off in these games.
Well, discussions needs to be the discussions underway. There's D-Long now trying to get his team across the finishing line. This is last stretch for BRU. The Team Falcons still stuck at the starting line. Umpai has fired a shot long ago, but Team Falcons have not been able to get their feet off the ground. At least not able to hit the ground running, whereas BRU are already in the final leg of the race. So it's a chrono of all things for Falcons.
Let's see though. So Chrono being taken away from Wasana, and it will be left to Wasana to switch it up. Team Falcons still that sane. So they're not giving anything. This is what we're asking for. Don't give anything to Buriram United to toughen them up.
Yeah.
But they do have that Tatsuya still available so that they can use it to their favor. And there you go. Wasana will be using that Tatsuya. Santino, I'm pretty sure, but no, Kazi for Get High. So Santino is open. Hopefully Team Falcons make that pick.
I mean, you have to take Santino now. You'll be actively throwing the game if you don't take Santino now. I mean, they did take the Ignis. That I can agree with. But Santino, yeah, you have to
There
take
you
it.
go.
Finally. So they still make a trade. Like, it's not to say that Buriram suddenly are not getting good picks. They still are, but they're not getting all the good picks. Be forced to the Coda. I mean, there's still the clue available if Buriram wishes to go for it. You go for the clue instead. So this last pick, what else could it be? It could go for Homer? I feel like I'm missing
Homer
something.
or A124.
The A124, yes. That too.
A124 would be the most perfect, but I'm not quite sure if Team Falcons want to pull that card yet, because I'm pretty sure they will reserve that later on if this works. But I don't know. They can use it right now just to make sure they're still into the fight, and then figure out another way to counter Buriram United. So I'm looking at A124, and there you have it. We got it right. I love this. We're getting into the minds of the Titans themselves.
And the A124 makes a lot of sense too. You want to stop any diversion plays. If Wasana is looking for any sort of a reset with the Rebel Rush, the A124 is going to put a stop to that in an instant. Just give Falcons a lot more breathing room, right? You can man up against BRU a lot more, but at the same time, you give yourself tools to not play into BRU shenanigans like this Ignis, Flame Mirage, this Santino decoy. It's fair to say that Moshi Santino has been the best so far, but let's see if Limit can push it beyond what we've already seen from him.
Oh yes, definitely. I mean, if he can use the Santino, this would be a trump card that they can always use, not only against Buriram United, but against other teams as well. And we're not seeing any Iris, so I think that is a risk that they're willing to take, especially if it makes Buriram United a little bit fairer to deal with, a little bit less stronger to deal with. But we'll have to see. That Tatsuya and Cassie combination can still be a threat, but they do have on fire that they can go like toe-to-toe with it, plus Kiroro on that A124. So like Get High and Wasana already has a counter right there.
Oh yes. So this could be one again. Final lap for BRU and for Team Falcons. The race basically has just begun long ago, but for them they have 3 games that need to run it back to back to back. So we put the mental fortitude to test. We said that if they steamroll WAG, they get to conserve all of that energy coming into the grand finals, and it seems like BRU has laid waste to that plan. But still, BRU not letting the guard down. One last high five. Actually, one last high five. Push D long, making sure that the boys are ready to end it on a high note. No mercy to be shown, even to the toughest of rivals.
Yeah, let's see though. Let's see if this is the time for Team Falcons to bring 1 point to their board and make their dreams still alive to grab that championship trophy as well as a prize pool. But if not, this is the final battle, and I don't think Team Falcons wants that to happen. They are on home soil. A lot of fans are still cheering them on despite of how late it is right now. But again, they are still alive and kicking compared to how they played yesterday. They have more chances really to bring the game to their favor right now.
And it's all about just waiting to hit into map number 3. BRU looking locked in as ever. In fact, very relaxed. They're definitely taking steps to treat this, one round at a time. Whereas for Team Falcons, good to see that the spirit hasn't died out just yet. They're still in high spirits. The morale not really dampened despite 2 consecutive beatdowns by BRU.
Yeah, I mean, Team Falcons might not be that team that will be affected compared to how we describe Vietnamese team, because like even in so many instances, I think you pointed out as well that even if they get a loss, they're still not fakes. It smiles on them. They know that they can fight back, and there are still a lot of battles that can be won after this. So, well, no pressure for them. And speaking of pressure, we're going to see that as well later on the heartbeat monitor. Well, for those of you who's watching and seeing those hearts and numbers as well, those are they are monitoring the heart rate of the players. And one player that is really calm and collected is not only Kiroro but also Limit 7.
Kalahari is going to be the map. Once more, Falcons need to look for a strong start, and whoa, Limit pretty sharp on those shurikens. Jonah back up, double Ignis wall coming right through. Jonah somehow gets down to the bottom. Falcons off to a great start, but BRU quickly equalizes the state of the game and takes over in terms of numbers, and Limit just arrived to the scene. Takes out Moji, but unfortunately forgot that Wasana is still around. A 3-piece for this young gun. And right off the bat, BRU wins the first round again.
Yeah, that could have been taken differently, but that is a risk though. If your sniper who doesn't even have a sniper takes that distance, and he will be late in the party. If he could have been there with the group, he could have finished off those knockdowns and probably change the result of that game number 1. But it's just game number 1 though. On a shuriken round, and Limit 7 will need. Oh, it's Pina who will be part of the mix right now. So, yep, let's see if this is a game changer for them. 3 against 2 on the second floor.
Oh, yeah. See, this is maybe a necessary swap. Pina doesn't end up going down. Either way, already an opening one for the side of BRU. Jonah with the pop onto Limit.
First blood.
And this round has already spiraled out of control.
Definitely it is spiraling out of control right now. Even Kiroro factor will not be a factor anymore, especially if they don't land those shots. And what he needs to do is keep that distance. But unfortunately, On Fire couldn't regroup with him because of what Wasana is doing, connected to get high. But there you have it. Brunei, Jonah, and Moshi has been knocked down. Kiroro will need to be picked up, and On Fire tries to run away, but it doesn't work against the duo of the frontliners in Burim United.
Good attempt from Falcons again for Pina having to sit in such an important game. over Potato, who has been playing the entire tournament up till the previous game. Pressure is on him, but maybe Pina is also, you can look at it from another perspective where he is the fresh mind, not under that the pressure that Potato is already under. Maybe that's the reset that Falcons are hoping to get out of him. He's the one that could rally the rest of Team Falcons. But you got to start by winning one round first, and BRU have been solid so far on Kalahari and throughout the finals.
Let's see though if they will be able to take one down. On the Fire has been taken down. Eliminate 7 responded to get high, but the pickup though is still viable for Brave United side, and Bina will be taken down. That was speed run at this point in Council Hall, and it again we're back to the question: is anything else? Is there anything else that of Team Falcons do against Brave United, because they've already taken out their best pick in terms of active skill? It's just more of a positioning, and there was a chance that Jonah could have been taken out early, but none of Team Falcons managed to turn that corner and go against him on that 1v2, so it could have ended differently from that point.
I don't know what they could have done differently. They definitely adjusted the draft, right? We both liked what they brought to this. And then when we look beyond the draft, it really comes down to the macro and the micros. So far, BRU have been winning on the gunfight, like again on fire. Back turn. Not able to keep track of where BRU are. And a lot of times when they are on the reactive side, that's where things start to fall apart. But thankfully, Kororo got his comrades covered this time. Limit getting taken down by Moshi from afar does ease the burden on BRU a little bit. Jonah behind the firewall. Pina trying to slip for him, but Moshi found out by Kororo, and at least for Falcons, they get one round done right.
All right, so that is Pina just going going berserk and going back and forth using that Ignis. But I guess it's a good play as well. You want to bait your opponent to be burnt by that Flame Mirage, and then give time for Kororo to focus on his aim, and that worked. That brought them 1 point. And as you can see as well, in terms of weaponry, we're seeing a Groza, we're seeing AC-80, AWM for Limit 7 rather, and that is a good response to Moshi right now. And Moshi will be taking this peak this second floor, and the rest of the teams might not see him in that position.
Eliminating Jonah is already bringing start for Falcons. Take out the hit commander. Wasana now gets cornered on fire. But the support would take him down. Moshi just flip limit off screen though. The Raphael bleed out effect is gonna nail Moshi that elimination, and he's the last man alive. Kororo needs to be rescued. Unfortunately, ends up bleeding out. It's Moshi 1 against 2. Wasana waiting to be rescued, but Moshi doesn't have time to do so. And double up from Falcons ensures that this round doesn't slip out of control. They are slowly but surely crawling back.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, crawling back, and it's on fire on that M590 run. I know the reload speed has been reduced at this point, but it's still viable if you can land those hits. It might not be a headshot, it's not about to be an instant knockdown, but if you land those shots, reduce the HP, put chip damage against the enemies, it will force them to hide out in one corner, and that's what prompted them to go for a double hit with Pina.
And the last time we saw this not long ago, the BRU and lost. Jonah has pretty good ideas on reading where the enemy sniper is going to go. And this time the approach is slightly different. Jonah with the Deagle on the low ground, relying on Get High and Moshi to play long range, and that opens up space for Limit to sneak onto the high ground. This different approach could be in favor of Falcons. As Wasana is forced to relocate already, but he can't move too far away. That glue wall actually goes down, so ends up causing the utility from BRU to miss.
Now let's see though if those misses can be taken down as an advantage by Team Falcons. Jonah right now in a battle on a 1v1 on the M590. Moshi will try to help out. Limit almost being taken down. And there goes Glue Wall being taken out, followed up with a shot using that AWM, but Pina will try to follow through, but Moshi is just a little bit too quick. On fire, the only one remaining, and there's not so much that he can do, especially on the other side. Moshi now will try to take shots, and there you go, the hit onto Moshi.
Double kill.
A little bit of chip damage being received by On Fire, but position-wise, he managed to relocate that quickly. And pickup has been done, bringing it to a 2v2. Wasana, though, has a clear view as to where they're coming from.
And yes, the Rebel Rush and the support of the Electrotherapy coming back up a little bit. Carrero pops in. That is the opening for Team Falcons to take advantage of. Get high. Let me position to try and clutch this out. 1v2, not possible. A 3-round back-to-back for Team Falcons. This round could have gone insanely poorly when Moshi got that knocked and walked away thanks to the Electrotherapy, but thankfully Falcons were able to hold the fort long enough to bring it to a 2v2.
Again, putting pressure on Moshi changed the pace of the game, and despite of 2 knockdowns already, because Moshi is still preoccupied and healing up, there's not so much of info being relayed, so they can recover that quickly. And I would say that counts as a clutch right there from the scene, despite of a 2v1 situation. Now, as we go in onto this fight, Moshi right now is just waiting for Karoro. Flame Mirage was late, but I guess it does its job. Wasana right now will try to go in for a rush against On Fire, but Wasana is the one who's going down for the M87 of Pina.
First
With the start of the recovery, we needed a fresh set of eyes on the side of Falcons, and Pina is bringing that impact, allowing On Fire and Karoro to play a bit more freely for sure. Jonah and Moshi now left on the rope. Moshi desperately trying to find a couple of avenues, but On Fire has already spotted him, and Limit will relay. Convert that into the 4th round for Falcons. Now they are in control.
And this time around, Team Falcons going for a speed run. They're getting in the rhythm of how to deny Burim United of any points. Now, we are going into where Brim United can take advantage of the position of Limit X7, especially if he gets into one of the platforms right there. But you know how it is. Some barricades can stop you from being from getting shot. So we'll have to find out which side they will be heading. Limit will be going into the left-hand side together with Pina and On Fire in the front line. And well, a trio from Burim United will be focusing in on isolating Kiroro, but I don't think Kiroro will fall for that trap. They still have a Limit in there, an oversight, but doesn't have an angle to take. So Wasana, surprisingly, pulls away from that engagement, leaving Kiroro play with Get High.
Get High gladly holds his ground. Now Wasana is back, takes down the blue wall with the stolen Valiant Dash. It's a utility being committed, but either way, Karoro going down. Pina now called to rescue his teammate.
First blood.
From Moshi, bleeds out On Fire from afar. Karoro does get retrieved. The BRU have done substantial damage. Pina now has to somehow kill his teammates out of this, but it's not possible. Get High and Moshi both delivers on their front Limit with a shot onto Wasana, but it's still a 1v3.
Double kill.
Limit probably stands no chance in this situation. BRU needed to put a bandage over the wound, and they've done more than just that. They've cauterized it and equalized the score. It's 4-4.
Yeah, I mean, because of the numbers, that trick didn't work. But if it was a 1v2, he could easily go for a headshot and then just reposition with that shape splitter and then fire on the other guy. But they just have both side cover. The one that where he's coming from as where the decoy will be going, and there's still no chance of surviving that. Now let's see though. Team Falcons would need to go in a little bit stronger this time, but On Fire taking the lead together with Pina and Flame Mirage right now can block the visibility for Wasana, and this guy is the first thing. This player, this Wasana, it should be the first guy that you take down. just to disrupt their movement, but no, Moshi says otherwise. On Fire brings him down, and it's now a 2v3.
That is just unlucky. Or maybe it's just smart positioning for Moshi again, trying to catch the intervention. It was looming from behind, and Moshi pushed that to a stop. And that completely destroys the plans of Team Falcon's. Limit once more left to his own devices. And get a lucky shot onto Moshi, but still the rest of BRU are on his tail. And match point, championship point in sight for BRU. And Limit is going to be left to steal in this moment as they have to start planning for what to do in round number 10.
Let's see. There's not so much that he can do right now. Rose in hand, damage being dealt with, and they're just playing around for their food. But finally, a finisher from Brim United to bring themselves to match point. Only one remains. One game to win. And this will end the run for Team Falcons. And Brim United, it seems like, despite of how much effort they put in to deny them of their comfort pick or their best pick in the active skill, the gameplay and strategy, they have a backup plan for that.
Oh yeah. We saw how fast BRU adapt to it, right? It took them 4 rounds, but once they adapt to it, they were able to shut down Falcons' ideas immediately. One person that you can rely on this time on Falcons is probably Pina. That's your best bet. Firewall Flame Mirage passes through. Wasana will be forced back, but just a lucky supply crate right in front of him, so he gets to be ready. The clay bomb being sent out too on Fire is going to be the recipient of that. Barely just missing the mark. Get High and Jonah still goes in for the rush, and on Fire needs to back up right now. He cannot go down.
Yeah, not so much of backup can be done. There's no angle to take, but he did get away. Get High now. M1887 in hand, pulls away, still connected though to the other side. And Get High is not going down that easily in spite of the shots from M590, and they're having a spawn from Jonah. And that's one man down already. Wasana a little bit too deep against Limit, but it quickly repositions to join Kiroro. And Pina can be the gatekeeper against Wasana, but Wasana's already recovering, especially as he looted up that airdrop.
Yeah, that airdrop actually being the lifesaver of Wasana. In a normal situation, when if that airdrop is absent, it could have been an easy trade for Falcons. But that's the situation they had to work with. We said that On Fire should not go down. And BRU, they put the pressure, they doubled up on him and finally forced him out into the open before taking him down. Corolo now forced to make a desperate move. Alongside the rest of Falcons, Moshi again, find the timing. Coup de grace, delivered, signed, and sealed all by BRU. And they are the Ninja Clash Free Fire All-Star Champions, 3-0 in the Grand Finals. They've earned the right to hoist the scroll as the trophy, $40,000 richer.
Finally, after so many runs against teams from Southeast Asia and even teams from Latin America and Brazil, they have found the light. This is a good motivation for Brim United as well to carry this over. Not just in show matches just like this, not just in Clash Squad just like this, but also in Battle Royale. But they are the ones who took down the kings of Clash Squad. This time, a new king emerged. It is Brim United Esports.
This king never left. They just returned to the kingdom to reclaim the throne and rebuild it brick by brick in their own volition. A trophy has eluded them for so long. You include Spring, Fall, EWC, and Global Finals. It has been so long since any of them has lifted a trophy. The last one probably a year ago or slightly longer than that. But for BRU, regardless, this is a moment of celebration and it belongs to them. Smiles all across, the blood, sweat, and tears finally pay up in Clash Squad. So, ladies and gentlemen, survivors of all ages, the champions for the fifth time.
This is long time running. long time in the making, right? Buriram United Esports grabbing a champion, and I know this is not a major tournament that they are aiming for, but this is one step closer to that dream, one step closer to motivate them to do even more, to counter against every team who face against them. And this is just the beginning for Buriram United Esports. Again, Buriram United Esports, the champion of the Free Fire All-Stars Ninja Clash 2025 Clash Squad Tournament.
A lot of doubts have been dispelled after that trophy lift. There are still questions that will be asked and questions that they have to continue answering as we move into the fall season, the beginning of next week and beyond. They now aim to not only try and secure the trophy for the regular leagues in the fall season in the second half of the year, but also to qualify for the global championship. Maybe that is going to restore some faith onto BRU to be the boys that bring that trophy back to Southeast Asia after 3 long years. But this is the match summary of the grand finals, where they steamroll over Team Falcons 6-0 on Purgatory, 6-1 on Nexterra, and they stop a possible comeback from Falcons on Kalahari with a 6-4 scoreline.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, not even getting back to Bermuda. They're just paying it back. They're just paying Team Falcons back to what happened and making them take the long route. But I guess that's how it is. If you take the longer route, the harder route, you become more stronger. And that's what we've seen from Buriram United. After a 2-1 loss, they respond to a 3-0. And Buriram United really proves that they are stronger this time around in Clash Squad. And it really excites us to see that story unfold. It might just be Clash Squad, but in the Southeast Asian region, especially in FFWS, that is being unfolded, that is already being shown that a game changer and also adds up to what you can earn in an FFWS series.
Yeah, and this is definitely incentive for them to go for more. And the Team Falcons, they had a good run, right? They still walk away with 20 grand. But for BRU, this is, I'd say, a big morale boost. Our fall season starts in literally 3 days. Because that's where Clash, 3 days, yeah, that's where Clash Squad begins. So it's not far away until we see these teams back on the battlefield again, even stronger and more prepared. For BRU, it's a minor cause for celebration before they get ready for the big boy league again. We're gonna talk to Buriram United Esports about that win. Of course, our lovely hosts are waiting on stage to deliver the winner's interview. Yunsu, Yuki, take it away.
Congratulations to Buriram United Esports for becoming the champion of our Ninja Clash Free Fire All-Star Tournament.
แล้วก็ขอเสียงตบมืออีกครั้งหนึงให้กับทีม Falcon ได้ไหมคะ
And of course, our second place will belong to Team Falcons.
แล้วตอนนี้ค่ะเราจะมาอินเทอร์วิวพวกเขากันหน่อยดีกว่า เดี๋ยวมาพูดคุยกันหน่อยว่า ความรู้สึกในตอนนี้รู้สึกยังไงบ้างที่มาเป็นแชมป์ของรายการนี้ค่ะ
Well, we will start with our interview with very basic questions. How do you feel right now when you become the champion of Ninja Clash Free Fire All-Star Tournament this time?
ก็รู้สึกดีใจครับขอบคุณทุกคนที่มาเชียร์ครับก็ราชาคนใหม่กำเนิดขึ้นแล้วครับ
He feels so happy. Thank you for everyone who cheer us for all the time, and the new king is already begin.
Well, he's right. He's right. Okay.
The king
so
is born right here on the stage right now.
I agree because like, this is the tournament like for everyone, right? Not only just C region, but it is also like for the world tournament. So I really agree what they said.
พวกคุณอาจจะเคยได้ยินว่าตอนที่พวกคุณกำลังแข่งอยู่เนี่ยเสียงกรี๊ดเสียงเชียร์เนี่ยคือเรียกได้ว่าตบมือกันสนั่นแล้วตั้งแต่ตอนที่ทั้งเราล้มแล้วเราลุกขึ้นน่ะพวกเขาอยู่ข้างๆกับพวกคุณโดยตลอดเลยอยากให้ฝากอะไรถึงแฟนๆหน่อยดีกว่าอยู่กันมาจนถึงตอนนี้ขอแบบซึ้งๆเลยค่ะ
Alright, so for all of you, does anyone want to say anything to your fans, to your beloved family or your friends or whoever support you guys until now?
ก็ขอบคุณครับที่มาเชียร์คุณอยู่ข้างผมก็อยู่ข้างพวกคุณเสมอครับ
Oh, thank you for Thank you for cheering us for the all time. You got our back, ours got your back. We got our back.
Oh, so cute. Okay, so I want to hear some other as well. Maybe Wasana.
ก็ขอบคุณทุกคนมากครับที่มาเชียร์ในวันนี้ก็ ถ้าไม่มีกำลังใจของทุกคนทุกคนก็แบบไม่มีพวกผมในวันนี้เหมือนกันครับ ก็ขอบคุณมากจริงๆครับก็พวกผมก็ซ้อมมาหนักมากครับ
Thank you everyone. If they don't have everyone don't have our fan, we cannot came here this time. And we try so hard to be here. We practice more and more harder and harder to be here. They deserve it.
They really deserve it. I hope to see a new image of Buddha United Esports in our next season as well.
เขาบอกว่าในครั้งหน้าเนี่ยก็จะได้เจอพวกคุณนะคะในสเตจเขาเรียกได้ว่าลีกถัดไปได้เจอแน่นอนนะคะอ่ะและในตอนนี้นะคะสัมภาษณ์กันไปพอเหมาะพอควรแล้วเดี๋ยวเราจะมาถึงไพรส์เซเลโมนีกันแล้วงั้นเดี๋ยวเราขยับมาทางขวาหน่อยดีไหมคะนี่
Alright, now we're going to start with our ceremony with the team.
และในตอนนี้ค่ะได้เวลาของการมอบรางวัลนะคะตอบแทนความมุ่งมั่นของน้องๆและความพยายามของทุกทีมกันแล้วค่ะในโอกาสนี้นะคะขออนุญาตเรียนเชิญมิสเตอร์เฮโรเทียลนะคะFree Fire Global Producer ให้เกียรติขึ้นมอบรางวัลบนเวทีค่ะ
It's time for the award ceremony. Please welcome our guest of honor who will present the awards to our team, Mr. Harold Thiel, Free Fire Global Producer, to the stage, please.
และนี่คือแชมป์ของพวกคุณค่ะกับ Ninja Clash Free Fire All Star ทีมบุรีรัมย์ยูไนเต็ด esports
And the champion of Ninja Class Free Fire All-Star Tournament, please, it's Buriram United Esports!
แชมเปี้ยนของพวกเราค่ะได้รับเงินรางวัลนะคะมูลค่า $40,000 สหรัฐโอ้โห
And the prize pool for our champion today is gonna be like 40,000 USD!
พวกเขาลำบากกันมามากนะคะฝึกกันมาหนักมากๆแถมยังได้รับกำลังแรงแล้วก็กำลังใจที่ดีจากแฟนๆจนมาถึงวันนี้ได้นะคะพวกเขาสมควรแล้วจริงๆสมมงแบบสุดๆค่ะ
A very big prize pool for our Clash Squad tournament this time, 40,000 USD, another budget into Buriram United Esports collection this time.
และตอนนี้นะคะก็เป็นเวลาไพรส์เซเลโมนีที่เราจะมาเซเลบรตให้กับแชมเปี้ยนของเราแล้วนะวันนี้ก็ถ้าเกิดใครอยากถ่ายรูปนะสามารถลุกขึ้นมาด้านหน้าแล้วก็มาถ่ายรูปได้เลยและนี่คือแชมป์ของเรา Ninja Clash Free Fire All Star นั่นเองค่ะเอานี่
What a way of
คุณ
celebration.
โจนี่ Legend guys และนอกจากรางวัลนะคะแชมเปี้ยนของเราแล้วแน่นอนว่าขาดไปไม่ได้เลยอีกหนึ่งผู้เล่นคนสำคัญกับรางวัล FMVP ได้แก่
And besides that, we also gonna have the FMVP promotion!
ได้รับเงินรางวัลมูลค่า 3,000 เหรียญค่ะ
And the prize pool for Mochi this time for FMVP of the tournament will be 3,000 USD.
และนี่คือแชมเปี้ยนของเรานะคะรวมไปถึง FMVP ด้วยเรียกได้ว่าเสียงเป็นเอกฉันท์กันเลยทีเดียวไม่ใช่แค่พวกเรานะคะที่รู้สึกว่าพวกเขาทำผลงานได้ดีมากนะคนในทีมก็รู้สึกว่าโมชินี่สมควรที่จะได้รับรางวัลนี้จริง Final MVP ซึ้งใจแบบสุดๆหน้าตานี่คือน้ำตารื้นขึ้นมาแล้วทีเดียวจะร้องไห้หรือเปล่านะจะร้องไห้หรือเปล่านะขอสักหยดไหมสำหรับ หรับการแข่งขันและกิจกรรมของ Ninja Clash Free Fire All Star ก็ได้จบลงไปแล้วนะคะ ขอแสดงความยินดีกับแชมเปี้ยนของเราด้วย แล้วก็ขอขอบคุณนะคะทุกท่านแล้วก็ทุกทีมเลยที่ร่วมเข้าแข่งขัน แล้วก็ชิงความเป็นสุดยอดแห่งเจ้าแห่งนินจาในครั้งนี้ ทุกคนสามารถติดตามความร่วมมือแล้วก็สุดพิเศษแบบนี้แล้วก็คอร์รัปสุดพิเศษได้ของ Free Fire แล้วก็ Naruto Shippuden ได้ในเกมแล้ววันนี้ค่ะ
And with that, the Ninja Clash Free Fire All-Star Tournament and its activities have officially ended here. A huge congratulations to our champions, Buriram United Esports. We also want to extend our sincere thanks to all the teams who competed for the title of the Ultimate Ninja Master in this event. You can now experience the special collaboration between Free Fire and Naruto Shippuden in-game for today. And of course, for now, we have to say goodbye. But at least, cheer for our champions today, everyone! Buriram United Esports!
เย้ แล้ววันนี้พวกเราทุกคนต้องขอตัวลาไปก่อนจนกว่าจะเจอกันใหม่ในครั้งหน้าสำหรับวันนี้ สวัสดีค่ะ
Thank you so much, and we would love to see you guys in another time. Thank you!
แชมเปี้ยนบุรีรัมย์ยูไนเต็ดอีสปอร์ตโอ้
There you have it once again, Brave United Esports, the champion of Ninja Clash Free Fire All-Star 2025, as well as Moshi, our MVP. Additional 43,000 in the bank for Brim United. But it's not over for Free Fire. This is just a preview of what's going to happen because there's a lot more that will be happening on this weekend, Husky.
Yeah, I've said this before and I'll say it as much as it needs to be said. Free Fire, we get show match, there's still prize pool. Preseason, we get prize pool. We make sure that every single effort is rewarded. And yeah, like you said, in 72 hours, we are going to kickstart the fall season. We got Clash Squad, we got Battle Royale lined up. The old kings are back, or get high say, the new kings are back in town. But I digress. I think the old kings are back to reclaim the kingdom and rebuild it again because it's been quite a while since BRU was recognized as the rulers of Southeast Asia. This could be the prelude to that. This could be a foreshadowing of what BRU is about to bring to the fall season and the rest of 2025.
And definitely, for those of you who have joined us up until this moment, thank you very much for your patience as well as your support. Make sure that you follow all the channels that wherever you're watching it, especially the official channels. And also, if you are just new to this broadcast and is not aware of what Free Fire is, go check out your all stores in your mobile phone. There's a lot more that you can get if you enjoy the game and follow esports. I am Neptune the Gentleman Garcia, joined with Husky. We will be saying goodbye and good night. See you again next time for another Free Fire battle. So, goodbye.